Hello and welcome back to the channel. We're still in Cairns and we're currently with Billy T Safaris today, and we are doing a trip through the Daintree rainforest. Our first stop is at Mossman, so I've just had a nice cup of coffee and I think we'll crack on now, get to our next destination and see what we can see. Come along. And that's our bus. You can't miss it when it arrives at your hotel. So we're going on the Madja Botanical Walk here at Cape Tribulation, Daintree National Park. Warm, wet, woody and wonderful. Could be in for something here.
What the indigenous would do is they would cut their shields out of these roots. And what they'd do, they cut them on the inside so they'd still grow back, right? And so it's a bit like your earlobe. When you've got your ear piercing, you take it out, it'll grow back. Cut your earlobe off, doesn't grow back. So same sort of thing. All right, so we see these. These are examples of these lianas, these woody lianas, right? And these are the softer vines heading up here. You can see some big ones just on this one. Alright, so the other plant I want to point out, this one just behind here, this is called a hope cycad, and these have been around for about 200 million years, these cycads. So this plant here, this is called a primitive flowering plant. This is one of the first sort of flowering plants that made their way onto the planet about 140 million years ago. Right, that was after the cycads came on board. 20 to 50,000 years ago, we had megafauna. Has anyone heard of megafauna? Mm-hmm. Yeah, some have, some haven't. So basically, the kangaroos and the wombats and the wallabies and the lizards that we got now, they're relatively small. The megafauna were basically giant versions of those. Like big tall kangaroos, big round faced ones, wombats the size of cars, they're all the megafauna. Lizards that were like 8 metres long, all those sorts of things. So they think that they used to eat these seeds and fruits, and they were able to disperse them that way, because otherwise once they drop they won't germinate unless they're moved around. So when we're out through here and out and about, you're going to see fruit on the ground. Don't eat it. Right? Don't put it in your mouth. It's dangerous. It could kill you. So we just don't know which ones are good to eat and which ones aren't. All right? So don't eat anything. All right.
As with everything, it's all out to kill you.
Alright, so the next one I just want to point out is this tree just here. We've got another one over here. This is called lawyer palm, right? And you'll notice that they've got like lots of sharp bits on it, right? They use these sharp bits also on here. This is part of the tree as well. And you'll notice just here that it's hooked onto this plant. And so what it does is it moves this section of itself over onto another tree. And so what it's going to try and do is utilise that to climb up to the canopy, because everything wants to get to the canopy, everything wants to get to the light, right? But they use these hooks to get up there. Now these lawyer palms will grow about 200 metres through the rainforest, right? And once they've got up into the canopy and their hooks are no longer useful, then all those hooks will just drop off. And then what's left over is like a cane isn't. Oh, yeah, this it's a bit browny. But this cane just here, that's old lawyer cane, and it just drops off. It hooks. It hooks, and it's known as a rattan after that. You guys know what rattan is? It's used for making furniture. Right. So the Indigenous used to use them a lot for building their shelters. So quite pliable sort of material. It's also got a nickname called wait a while, because if you get hooked up in one of these, it's going to take you a while to get out of it. So you'll be waiting around. All right, let's keep going.
Let's not get hooked up on it then.
On the ground, this is all due to pigs. So we're now going through a bit of a gallery of fan palms. So these ones up here, these fronds, they'll grow up to about 2.5 metres in diameter. And the Indigenous used to use those as roofing tiles to go over their shelters. Right. All right, so we're starting to move into the mangrove part of the rainforest here. Where this creek is down to the left, that's a freshwater creek. That's called Oliver Creek. And then that meets up with the Noah Creek, which we crossed just as we were driving in, and that's more of a saltwater creek because that runs to the sea. And so through this area you get what they call brackish water, which is a mixture of fresh and salt water. And so the closer you get to the salter water, you get more mangroves. So these areas are tidal, so that's why you're getting water through here. As the tide goes out, that'll drop down as well.
You ever seen any spiders and snakes here?
Occasionally see spiders. I haven't seen any snakes through here, but I've seen lace monitors. So the tide's starting to come back out. That's why it's flowing.
Any crocs this
Yeah,
way?
There are crocs in through here.
Might jump in for a swim then.
No, don't do that. There's a crab. So we just put a hole around there.
Oh yeah.
There's another one just down here. As well, red claws. Alright, so when we're on the ferry here, I have to turn off the engines. The ferry was built in 1956 and it was a private ferry.
Pretty cool being in the middle of the Daintree rainforest. And we're still alive. Is that one of those fruit?
Yeah, so this fruit that's just up here, this is a cannonball mangrove fruit. And the reason why it's called cannonball, it's not just for its size, but as it grows, it gets to a certain size and then it explodes. And it does that so the seeds contained within it can get as far away from its tree, its mother tree, as possible into the mangrove waters, and then that'll float down and go and germinate somewhere far away. And there are potential for crocodiles out there. There are crocodiles that live in there. But...
So there are crocodiles behind me, but we haven't seen any yet. And all the wildlife have run away.
They normally come out at night. So I've got some examples of the rat from the old Wait a While. So have a feel of it as you go past.
That is very strong. I can see why it's called Wait a While. Talking of which, I might miss my bus.
It's like soft.
Don't eat it. So there we go, a little walk through the Daintree rainforest. And we've just been dropped off at Cape Tribulation, so we're going for a little walk on the beach. I have been told that it's probably not advisable to go swimming. So I'm definitely not going swimming because, well, it's full of crocodiles apparently. Now this is a path that apparently had a really nice lookout. However, because they had some serious flooding in December last year, it took out the lookout, taken out a lot of things in the area as well, a lot of landslides, which is a shame. Everyone's rebuilding. There were cafes that were flooded. In fact, one just after it got refurbished. This freak flood. They missed the cyclone just, but had I think it was like a year's worth of rain or something in 2 days, which is ridiculous. So those poor people having to rebuild, and some of Daintree ruined. But there's lots left. And here we are, this is where the rainforest meets the beach. Look out for crocs. And I'm not talking about my shoes, which aren't crocs by the way. There we have Cape Tribulation. It's really hard to imagine that out there are crocs, but I bet there are. They love these mangroves as well, don't they? Probably shouldn't get too close. It's so weird to see roots go into the sand. All the mangroves. And that does look very crocodile-y to me. Does that look crocodile-y to you? What a beach. I can see though why no one's sunbathing. Fall asleep and you might wake up with a crocodile. So there we have it, Cape Tribulation. Quite a beach. Daintree rainforest behind me. All the mangroves, rainforest meeting beach. And behind me there, the sea with maybe one or two crocodiles. So let's go for a swim. Come on, who's with me? Actually, there might not be another video, so I think we'll give the swim a miss. Crocodile infested. I don't see any though. I bet they're there though. They like to stalk their prey. And if those crocodiles aren't in the sea, they might be in these mangroves. Which is slightly worrying because they say never turn your back on a crocodile. Let me know if you see any creeping up on me. By the way, before anyone comments, I did look very closely at all these mangroves before turning my back. But I guess anything could happen. If you're watching this video, I've lived another day. As I walk along Cape Tribulation, there is one thing that does strike me. I come from the island of Jersey where we have beautiful beaches. And I have to say, maybe I'm a little spoilt, but some of our beaches, I think, beat this hands down. We don't have rainforest meets the beach, but we also don't have any sharks. Well, not many. They're out there somewhere. We don't have much that can kill you in our beautiful island. Whereas here, you do have to be on your guard. We have no crocodiles, so we don't have to worry too much. It's the humans. They're the ones you've got to watch. Some of them. You're okay. You're sensible. But yeah, it's a beautiful beach, don't get me wrong, Cape Tribulation, but I think I'm just spoilt with beautiful Jersey beaches. St. One's, St. Brellard's Bay, Gorey, Long Beach. Oh, the list goes on. Daintree rainforest, as well as the oldest rainforest in the world. It's not the biggest, but it is the oldest. And there's not many places where the rainforest meets the beach. Just walked through a spider's web, which normally wouldn't bother me too much, except in Australia. Oh, and look. And that's real. So I will heed the warning. Crocodiles are brilliant in the water, aren't they? They're not so good on land, but I don't want to take my chances. We'll be seeing crocodiles later, by the way. We're going on a boat trip, so we'll get closer to them near here. This is Kulki, which according to our guide means meeting place. So we've made a quick stop on the way to spot crocodiles for a free ice cream. Can't beat free. I'll go for a free ice cream. And they grow everything here on site. Beautiful grounds. And we get their signature offering. Thank you very much. So there we go, free ice cream, there's loads of it. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to finish all this. Right, let's go and see crocs in the rainforest. That's the ferry that takes you over to the other side. One side of Daintree to the other. And this boat hopefully is crocodile proof. Just waiting for the others to board.
How many victims? We should have 18.
How many victims, he says? 18. It's including me. And don't put your hand in the water. Good luck, he says.
Welcome aboard, folks. Bruce is my name. We've got 18 people on a 30-man boat. Plenty of room to move around. You tell me you want to walk up front, take a photograph, don't be shy. If you're going to move around, can we not go above that aluminium step up front, please? Definitely don't get on the bow of the boat if you don't mind. There's no handrails up there.
So we're going about 4 kilometres, about an hour this trip.
All it's trying to do is heat up with all the large lumps in the back of the body. That's called osteoderms. That's the solar panel. That's what they've got to heat up.
Our first crocodile, Eric. So let's continue our mission up the Daintree River. Of course, we're all looking at the banks, but actually lots of crocs in the river itself. Well, sadly no mega crocs today, but at least we saw a couple of little ones. And I'm still alive. What you didn't see, because I wasn't filming, because there's a lot of boring stuff, is that we crashed onto one of the branches from the cyclone that was underwater. It gave everyone a huge shock, including myself. I said to the guide, as long as the boat doesn't sink. You don't want to sink here.
Thanks very much, gang.
Hello there.
Can I get anyone a tea or coffee?
Oh. Cup of coffee would be lovely. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that. We didn't see that many crocs, what, about 3? But at least it was a nice cruise down the Daintree River and a nice surprise as well to get a cup of coffee, biscuits as well, always welcome after a trip like that, especially when we bang into a branch. Luckily, everyone's okay and the boat's all right. And apparently that's the second time that's happened, said the guide, from the cyclone doing all that damage, terrible damage along the Daintree River. So anyway, back on the coach we go. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.